What's going on, everyone? TheVikingWeeb back at it again. Today is our first ever podcast. So I'd like to, first of all, thank you for joining me for my first podcast here. As you know, the name of the podcast is News and Theory with the Viking Weeb. So I'm going to have a different topic of discussion for new news, theory updates, stuff of that nature. For starters, I would like to also say if you like content like this, feel free to come over to the Bucket Brigade. We do podcasts over there. We'd like to drop at least one every week. And we talk about video games, anime, things we like, things we don't like. So come on over there and check us out. But for now, let's go ahead and get into it. So today's topic is going to be Monster Hunter, the series. And since it's news and theory, we're going to be talking about very specifically Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, I'm sure everyone knows Monster Hunter has a phone app called Monster Hunter Now. If you don't and you're a Monster Hunter fan, you're behind. So get with the times, folks. We need to go ahead and start downloading. We need more hunters out there. Hunters like you. There's a lot of new features coming. This week we should see Season 3. They're dropping the next Elder Dragon. So we just had the last update in Season 2, Kushala Daora, and next will be the Teostra. So that's exciting. Teostra had the meta armor in the base game of Monster Hunter World, at least some of it. So I'm looking forward to maybe having a meta here for Monster Hunter Now. But that's not today's topic. Today's topic, Monster Hunter Wilds. There are some updates that we just recently got. One of them is Focus Mode, which is kind of why I mentioned Monster Hunter Now to begin with. Focus Mode is something new. Kind of an old reskin of just the lock-on feature, but Focus Mode's a little different where you can target different parts of a monster's body. Now, Capcom tried doing this back in Monster Hunter World, Generations even, but it wasn't great. I mean, you don't want to be stuck looking at the monster the whole time. You kind of want to be able to look away when you need to, dodge when you need to, be aware of your surroundings. So the lock-on mode never really worked. But Focus Mode allows you, when looking at the monster, to pinpoint specific locations. Now, in Monster Hunter Now, you're always looking at the monster. So you're kind of automatically locked on, period. You can't look away. But the cool part about it is you can lock onto specific parts. So it was a lock-on feature. But here's where it gets good. For Monster Hunter Wilds, which is the new one said to drop in early Q1 2025, you focus when you look at parts of the monster. So when you look at the monster, you have a lock-on feature that you'd be able to use while looking at the monster. You can just look away. But what's cool about this is it's like it auto-locks for you in those spots. So imagine Monster Hunter World, you're hunting a monster, you're moving around, and you lock on. But imagine you can look away just as easy. That's something we've been asking for, to be honest, for some time. So thank you, Capcom, for listening to us players. So Focus Mode, it's cool. We also got new news about there are different sizes of monsters. And it wasn't really confirmed with words. It was confirmed with their trailers. So we've seen small monsters. We've seen medium-sized monsters. We know they're going to bring their flagships back. We know we're going to see Rathalos. We will definitely see Rathian. I'd be surprised if we didn't see the Anjanath, Great Jagras, maybe even the Great Jaggy again. We should expect to see all their big flagship monsters. I guarantee you, with the little voting system they had at the beginning of this year for the top 3 best monsters, I guarantee you all 3 will be in the game. Which means we might get an underwater area to finally be able to fight the ice water dragon Lucretius. Apologies if I'm saying that wrong, my Monster Hunter fans. I never really learned how to say it, and no one around me ever knew how to say it. So that's just how I've been saying Lucretius. The water, underwater battle. I believe it was I want to say it was Generations or Revelations that we got to fight him. That was a hard fight. Love that fight, though. Great. Great. All right, so moving on. We have different sizes, right? We're also guaranteed better visual damage. Now, we saw in World where a monster's skin would change color a little bit due to whether it be rain, snow, mud, different ailments a little bit. Not a lot. But one of the cool things I saw with the new UI and mission release that Capcom gave us, you can cut the monster up. There's different spots, like specifically with focus mode, you can cut an area up. And you can see the visual damage. You can watch as you cut the monster. There's a cut where you got your true charge slash, right? There's a giant bruise where you did your big boy, big bang attack with the hammer, right? You're going to be able to see these spots. That's a first. We've had it. It's been teased to us in other games, but this is the first time I cut you there, I see blood there, right? So that's really, in my opinion, that's one of the coolest things. I'm really looking forward to that. But I do want to touch on, when it comes to monster sizes, okay, there's a lot of potential here. Now, before I jump back and forth, I do want to get through a lot of my main points. So I'm going to get through all of the stuff we for sure know. That's the news portion. And I'm going to go to the theory portion. I'm going to retackle a lot of stuff again, but I'm going to theorize on top of that. So, the mount can guide you to monsters. We've seen the mount. We got teased the mount. It looks like a giant chicken, ostrich thing. Cool. But they're bringing the scout bugs back, so we're going to be able to see. You'll be able to kind of control it, right? At least from what I saw, you're able to control it. But you can also just hop on, and as long as you're tracking a monster, trying to find a monster, your mount will guide you there. I'm not sure if it just follows the bugs automatically, or the bugs are more prominent and you have to control to follow it. But I know you can control the mount, and I know for sure the bugs are kind of more so in front of you, leading you while you're on the mount, if you're tracking a monster. So, let's see. We know for sure it's a complete open world. A lot of the people that got to test the game out early, a lot of the streamers, they have come out and said there are no loading screens. I want to say I doubt it, but I have a really good feeling a lot of these sources, they're pretty good sources. So I'm going to say, all right, that's confirmed. I don't know if I can believe that. I mean, we had unskippable cutscenes from Monster Hunter World in literally 2017, 2018. And, I mean, shit, if you really think about it, 2019 when Iceborne dropped. So, but, hey, look, we can hope. As lovers of the Monster Hunter series, we can hope. So, the other thing that is news and guaranteed is our weather features. We are going to be seeing weather patterns. Obviously, the desert's going to have sandstorms. I know from the trailer we've seen thunder sandstorms. I don't know if that's going to affect the hunt necessarily. I don't know if certain monsters will be able to control certain aspects of the weather, like our legendaries. Yeah, I'm hopeful to see some monsters be able to control the weather. Some monsters become harder fights in certain environments or biomes, whereas in the opposite, they would be easier. Like if you found a Teostra in the, I don't know, like the jungle, right? Or the forest area, he would be probably easier than the desert, right? Or if you magically found a Teostra in an ice biome. I'm really hoping to see Gravios, by the way. We've been seeing a lot of Basieros recently. I'm really trying to see my old boy Gravios, but hey, look, speculation for another time. We got more time here. Just give me a moment to get through this last one. Clashing with monsters. So, what's super cool from the trailer that we've seen and from early playtime from streamers is there's a clash feature with monsters. Now, we've seen it with Greatsword. I don't think they've showed it with any other weapon, which leads me to speculate, right? Is this just a new technique for Greatsword? Or are we going to see clashes of some type with every weapon? I'd be curious to see how the ranged clashes would be. However, super cool. I mean, I'm super interested to see how that would go. I love the idea of having a clash. Now, we've only seen it with, I don't want to say small monsters, but we've seen it with monsters that like aren't the size of a Rathalos. They're smaller. So, is that medium? Is that small? What's our system here? So, all I know is I've seen what looks like a baby Pookie Pookie. I've seen a baby Viper Toby Kadachi. And I have seen what looks like a really, really giant hairy cat. Or bear. I don't know. Whatever one's in the trailer. We've all seen it. Now, they're the other small ones that look like porcupines with spiked hair, but I don't know. Those look like herbivores to me. It doesn't look like we're going to be hunting those. Alright, let me get into the theories portion, and we are going to wrap up here. So, breaking monster parts makes them unusable. Now, Capcom has been trying to do this consistently. We've seen it a little bit in World. We saw it a little bit in Sunbreak. I should say, sorry, World and Rise, and then Iceborne and Sunbreak. Apologies. We've seen it there, where if you damage a part, there's a certain move that they just don't do anymore, right? They still swing their tail if you cut it. Just maybe the range isn't there. I know in World, if you break the pink Rathian's tail, like you cut it off, she no longer does her like hula hoop flips. She has to do the wild one. I know if you break the Brachydios's fists, slime doesn't come off it as consistently. So there's like different things, right? You break it, it's not as usable. Theory here, I feel like if you break apart, because this is a huge one we've been asking for, I feel like if you break apart, that part's no longer as usable. Same thing, right? Like, that sounds like the same thing, but hear me out. You used to break the Brachydios's fist. Okay, it's not as explodey now, right? Well, imagine breaking his fist and he doesn't throw the left. Ever. Period. You broke his fist. He's not throwing the left. It hurts too much. But, like, to be fair, that's a Brachydios. Bad example, because that monster would hit you even if it hurts. Let's go with something more majestic, like a Rathalos. You cut the Rathalos' tail, or break his wings. Homie not flying. He's not going up in the air. Same thing with Rathian. You cut her tail, she's just not even going to swing that. Hurts too much. You break the Diablos' horns, you've broken his pride. Homie's not swinging his head. He's only going for tail and digging. Which, actually, he wouldn't even be able to dig. That'd be the best monster to do it to. Couldn't go underground. Because the horns are, lore-wise, his way of poking through to the next layer of dirt. It's just how physics work. I don't make the rules, Isaac Newton did. The people that discovered the rules, they made the rules. But yeah, I also... Okay, that's theory 1. Theory 2, I feel like the clashes will be available for every size of monster. I feel like it'll be easier the smaller they are. It'll be harder the bigger they are. But I feel like there's still going to be some kind of clash ability that you can have with different sizes of monsters. I do, however, believe the Elder Dragons, your more legendary style of monsters, I don't think you'll be able to do it with them. Just like you can't trap them, I don't feel like you will. Also like Rajang, right? Furious Rajang. Can't trap him with electric. Or like the Pitfall, he'll move in and move out of it. I feel like that's the same probability of the clashes. Like, you might be able to get it, but they might fake you out and then hit you. You're just going to have to be able to read the monster 100% to be able to get it for sure. Next one, G rank. For all my old Monster Hunter friends, you've been playing since the beginning or very early on at bare minimum pre-world. First of all, I salute all of you. Thank you for having the love of the game that you do. You and me combined have made Capcom continuously put out games we love. So thank you for being a fan base. Second, hey, G rank. I would love to see G rank come back. So I'm going to make a theory and say they're listening. Capcom is doing things. I feel like G rank will make a return. We're going to get our low rank. We're going to get our high rank. We'll get master rank. And then DLC, boom, G rank. It's just a theory. I feel like it'll be really good. I feel like it would work really well. But hey, it's not super likely. I'd love it to be likely, but we'll see. All right, the next one I want to do. Hold on, I got to pull this out because this one is throwing me. All right, so we all know the Monster Hunter logos, right? We know the theory about the logos. In each Monster Hunter game, the logo that's the Elder Dragon. That's the flagship monster you kill at the end, right? Okay. What does this look like? What is this? You know what this looks like, right? We know what this looks like. I don't even... Look. Two heads. There's two heads. These are two serpent dragons. Now, I can't tell if they're connected or not because they're interweaved. Look, it just looks too good to be true. All right? I'm not gonna say his name. We all know who he is. The giant serpent dragon. Got two heads. Starts with the letter D. Go look it up if you don't know. That's the dragon. That's who I think it is. All right? Could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be super wrong. They could just come up with something new. I hope they didn't. Because it seems like Capcom consistently is bringing back monsters from older games, and they're letting us see them again for the first time. Which also means I'm excited, and I have another theory here that's going to coincide with this one. I can't wait to see if they're going to add the same style of subspecies. I think Generations 4 was the one where, like, there were so many subspecies, it wasn't even funny. It was hard to keep up with. But, like, that means every single monster had, like, 4 to 6 different types of layered armor, or just regular armor. That's also back when they did, the Rathian Y, the Rathian Z, right? Which, the Zs were always for the gunners, but it had more slots for decorations. So that kind of fell off after World. We saw it a little bit in Rise, but not like it used to be. Which, fun facts, just for you people that started with World, you used to have to make everything. Like, everything. The pickaxe, not free. You were making that. You had to find a stick. You had to find a rock. You made a pickaxe. Oh, by the way, regular pickaxe, you're only getting shit to make another pickaxe. You would get lucky to find a new type of ore. Fun fact, you find a new type of ore, you get a rare pickaxe. It's just like monster hunting, but for fucking rocks. So, once you had the I think, what was it? Ancient pickaxe or something like that. Then you could get anything. But it could still break. Pickaxe would break after like 3 hits. Imagine having like 10 with you, and you find the ultimate treasure trove, and you break them all. I know some people are saying, go back to your tent. Well, there were some missions you couldn't. But, that's just... let me digress. So, two more. There was a parry theory that I had. It kind of coincides with the clashing. I think the parry ability, which is going to be kind of like your wirebug stuff from Rise, I think you're going to have abilities like that you can sub in just like you did with the wirebugs. You can sub stuff in, you can take stuff out, you can customize your weapon playstyle. So two people with a greatsword have two different playstyles because one might be a big boy, biggest damage DPS, and the other one is going to be strictly tank or counter. Like he's going to tank shit and he's going to counter shit. So like that's my theory is you're going to be able to swap skills. So instead of true charge, might have rage slash, right? Instead of kick, you might have to kick might be the parry mechanic. So it might be a parry, and that might initiate a clash. And every weapon might have that parry mechanic. So once again, theory. And last one, I kind of already touched on this with the different sizes of monsters and the ones we've seen for sure, and that is baby monsters can be captured or domesticated and made into pets. I have seen 2 videos of a hunter holding a baby Pookie Pookie and being held / cuddled by a large Viper Toby Kadachi, both of which run TikTok, but they're not AI generated at least. At least we can still tell the difference between, AI and real, right? Kind of. At least for now. But anyway, those are my theories. That's the news. And I'm the Viking Weeb. Thank you for joining me. Tune in next week where we discuss something else. It's been a pleasure. And as always, good night.